What's good? It's Chigozie, Friday, May 17th, 2019. And this is going to be a very good video for anyone who wants to know how to use propaganda to their advantage, other than what we're already doing now, with the rigged news, elections, fake sports, and all that. This is how you can use stock market propaganda and really anything about an ad about a stock, anything. If anyone gives you a stock tip, if someone tells you invest in this, it's good. Here's the number one thing you can do to profit off anything someone tells you. And it's as simple as understanding how to trade. I mean, it's that simple. It's learning how to trade the markets, developing a system that's proven to work more times than it doesn't. And that system has other parts in it that also helps ensure that you lock in profits and you get out of losses quickly. And if you understand that, so pretty much having good trading psychology and a risk management system, you can play any of these. If there was a stock called, Huawei, if they have a stock, for example, you can just look at their chart, see, okay, what's been going on, trade it based on their system. And so we're going to look at this. And what is risk? Risk is volatility, at least in my mind, with a lot of risk, which means a lot of downside. High risk, high reward. So, also, this is federal government propaganda. We know how they like to spook people. They like to fuck with the markets. And they love to use a trade war as one of the excuses to manipulate the markets. So, if you're short biased, this could be propaganda for you to consume. Because again, most people are long biased in so many things. Most people have their retirements and shit invested in these Zionist Jew-run corporations. So do you think that the federal government, is it in their best interest to make sure that these keep going higher and higher and higher, or to keep going lower to make all the goy sell? That's exactly how they think. It's what they think of you guys as a bunch of cattle. Don't know better. That's what they think of us, and that's why I'm exposing these people. So, without ranting too much about that, we're going to see how this is coded propaganda. We're going to look at each of these stocks and just see what they're saying and how it matches up with the narrative. See, the whole growth narrative at Tesla, this is bullshit federal government false flag narrative. Because it's not narrative at Tesla, it's narrative from the... See, this is a false flag, blaming Tesla Motors instead of blaming the Masonic Lodge in D.C. And we'll see what they're saying. You'll see how the chart tells a completely different story from this propaganda. Ever since financial markets have tumbled, if they do reach a deal in the 2 weeks, let's just read this. To be sure, the tariff increase has a grace period, so goods that are in transit aren't impacted by the tariff hike. That gives the U.S. and China trade officials roughly 2 weeks to negotiate a deal. If they do reach a deal in those 2 weeks, 22, the master builder number, when you're out 2, you get 58 like Freemasonry. If they do reach a deal in those 2 weeks, the 25% tariffs will go away without ever impacting a single import. Again, Trump 25. We now have Luckin Coffee, Luckin 25. And they even said Luckin Coffee is going to have a lot to do with the trade war narrative. This is going to be an ongoing agenda. And if you can understand the numbers for trade war, for China, these patterns, you can see, okay, is there going to be a lot of trade war propaganda today? If there is, should I go be long or short? You see, you document the odds, because it's all probabilities. If 90% of the time Luckin Coffee sells off on dates with all the trade war Donald Trump propaganda, or it goes up on those days, and it happens 89% of the time, that's a trading strategy you just have now, based on numerology, based on date numerology, gematria, and propaganda. Again, trade equals 48, 33, Masonry 33, Donald Trump 48, Saturn 21, War 42. And that's why that Luck and Coffee, that video I just made, updated at 420. So just look out for things like this. You want to just backtest, research, and document. You know, I can't uncover the entire pattern in this video. That's going to take a lot of research. But I'm showing you how to go about it. Again, use this government's platforms. Use Google Sheets, and then use, what's it called, Google Data Center to visualize it all. You can literally make a big spreadsheet, all your statistics, how many times these things happen, on when this thing happens, when you're, and also have your own system. You'll have to confirm things as well. I would never just go blindly on Gematria. You know, you want to use that with your system you already have. Use them all together, if you can. But you see how accurate this stuff is. Tesla stock, Tesla stock. One sector with a ton of trade war risk is the auto sector, and one company is in that sector that looks particularly susceptible to escalated trade tensions is Tesla. See, this is good. That means this is more volatility, more reaction to the fake news propaganda, which means more reaction to dates with 44 numerology, 33 numerology. And you see how it's like having all your indicators kind of line up and tell you when to do something. They all like match up and say go, right? On dates with 33 numerology, trade equals 33, 87, Tesla equals 78, the reflection of 87, and 33, 12, the reflection of 21, like trade. That's why Tesla is part of this, by the way. So on dates with 33 numerology, you should definitely be looking out for Tesla. And that's the thing. If it doesn't tell you whether this is going to go long or short, and that's why I said at least like you want to have your system as well, because that would help you. You don't want to just make this a guessing game. And I've shown you how just, at least in the stock market, support and resistance can get you somewhere, at least with Tesla's stock and date numerology. So Starbucks. We'll look at Tesla again for those I want to see, but Starbucks, you see how it's been uptrending, right? Well, all things must fall. They try to teach you the trend is your friend, but you know, really, once you really identify the trend, it's about to be over. This thing moves with the market as well as in the overall market. Is this one of those? It looks like the trend's going to continue. It looks like momentum wants to start picking this back up to make higher highs. But that's the thing, it's going to do that. You don't know when there's going to be trade war propaganda that'll come out and send it going down. So if you understand date numerology, if you want to look up all the big trade war incidents, see what date numerology still came out, see the pattern, see how Starbucks reacted to it, and then document your findings, build a bunch of data, and see how that works over time, and then forward test it out. And you can do this all with fake money and a demo account. I mean, you should be doing that while you're developing testing this. I don't even, and it's funny too, because I'm not even a fundamental trader. I don't like fundamental analysis, but that's what this is. Using Gematria and propaganda is fundamental analysis. It's like news-based, based on, you know, what the company might do. I guess it's more news-based, but it's kind of still in that fundamental area. But these are still catalysts. And also, you just can't ignore how they all participate in these rituals by the numbers. This is the most fundamental stuff I do. I don't care how much money Starbucks has. I don't care how many, you know, all the fundamental pieces. I just care about when they're going to be participating in propaganda, which days. Knowing that in advance so I can manage my risk. If I was in this uptrend, I can know, okay, like this is perfect, right? You can see all these indicators are starting to point up. It's saying, okay, momentum's going up. This MACD's curving in. It looks like this is more continuation of this trend. This closing above this EMA line, this looks pretty good for a continuation. It hit highs today. It still could have a little bit of a pullback, but you see what I mean. It's not in a bad spot. But if you knew how Starbucks lets to participate in propaganda on specific days with the trade war, you know, Starbucks, 24, 42, war 42. And who knows, this could become, maybe when Luck and Coffee does well, Starbucks will sell off. Whenever Starbucks has a good day, Luck and Coffee will sell off. I don't know. They could become inverse pairs almost. Oh, that'd be funny. But you just see. Yes, there's a lot of possibilities in these things. But again, that's why you want to document and don't base your entire trades off this. It's more like managing risk. Like, how much would you risk on a trade? Maybe you'd risk a little less. Again, on dates with 61 with Luck and Coffee. Doesn't mean you don't have to not trade. If your system tells you to trade, you should still take the trade. But if you know Luck and Coffee likes to participate in primarily negative propaganda and dates with 61 numerology, you might risk 1% of your account instead of 2%. That's literally what I mean. You use Gematria mainly as a risk management strategy. Because it's not hocus pocus. I mean, it'd be one thing if they barely did things by the numbers, but they do all the time. And that's why I'm making these videos. They do this every single day. Federal 138. So let's look at General Motors stock. Tesla won't be the only auto stock that trades down on elevated trade war tensions. Automotive giant General Motors should trade down too. Why? Because General Motors has a ton of China exposure. In 2018, the company sold 3.6 million vehicles in China. That's significantly more than 3 million vehicles GM shipped in the US. Most of this 363. In 2018, and comprises nearly 45% of GM's global shipments. Thus, China is a big market for GM. But then China's also been in free fall because of the tariffs. I'm trying not to make this video too long, by the way, because it's a lot of reading. I mean, I hope you don't make any of your investment decisions on this propaganda. I mean, that's actually the main point of my video. We're seeing how, yes, GM's probably going to be selling off, but who knows? What if it doesn't? GM, it's been holding above this SMA pretty nicely, though. Look at this. I mean, that's what I'm saying, guys. This is such a perfect example of what I'm talking about. You build a system that tells you what to do. And this isn't the exact system I use. This is, first off, the configurations here aren't for the daily chart that I'm showing here. But just look at the candles. You see this SMA line. That's the main thing. This green line. You see how it bounces off. See, there's a resistance here. It tries to break and hold above, but doesn't. And then now, look, it acts as a support. It breaks above. It holds above for a long time, for months. It sells back off in March, consolidates along this 180 period SMA line, simple moving average. It's just an average of the closing prices of each candle over the past 180 days. And you see the traders, the banks, everyone buys off here, and it does it again. And you see where it is here. It's bouncing off this. So instead of reading the Zionist Jew bullshit propaganda, you see how this is completely useless. Who gives a fuck about what this means with GM stock? Who cares? This is completely irrelevant. Why not build a system that says, okay, if it breaks and holds below this green line, go short. If it breaks and maybe starts showing a higher high, so maybe it breaks above 37.62 and shows signs of an uptrend, and you wait for another pullback, go long. Or you would have another moving average. And now, I'm not talking about crossover. You just have other indicators that say go long. You know what I'm saying? You would have a system built that tells you what to do. But you have this as one of your pieces. That's all you need. You don't need fake news, Zionist Jew propaganda. That's why it's a waste of your time to read this shit. That's exactly the whole point of my video. But you get it now. And this is actually really cool. I'm saying now they put GM in our consciousness. We know GM. Well, we know that they have a lot of trade war stuff going on. So you can manage your risk more. You say, okay, Donald Trump's been participating in a lot of propaganda. Next week has a date with 33 numerology, has a date with 48 numerology. And I'm about to buy here because we're still at a good level to buy. Like, if you're looking at zones, So instead of risking 2% in this trade, maybe risk 1.5%. Risk 1% of your account in this trade, and you can still write up. You might make less money, but if you lose, you have lost less money, and you might have a greater chance of losing. Again, because it's more volatile because of all the trade war propaganda. And you have to prove that, by the way. Just because they say it doesn't mean it. You have to go in the past, again, like this day, these sell-offs, see if there was a lot of trade war, Zionist Jew bullshit going on in the mainstream media. You have to figure this out yourself, use the trade. I hope this all makes sense. And now we know GM is at a decent part if you actually want to participate. And if it goes back up to where it was, that's 8%. It's not bad. You put 10 grand down, it's $800 in about a couple weeks. Not bad. So that's really it. I mean, you can do this with anything, even penny stocks. I mean, you just have to know what to look for. Like penny stocks, you would read the daily chart a bit differently, you know? They don't really do this. It's different. You have to know what you're reading, how to read it. Yeah, I don't remember the ticker. But there's a bunch of them, you know? This one more of a momentum play. But you see the charts look a lot different. It's more about, you know, see how this has been resistance here. Well, this has been a break above. People see this. You see the volume spiking. You'd get in on this day. You just wait for stuff like this to happen. It's pretty much the same concept, but different way of thinking it. Think about what the shorts are doing, what the short they're thinking, you know. But I don't want to go too much into detail and confuse anyone. Because again, I'm still learning everything myself. I'm just showing you it's all about building a system, following your system, managing your risk, not listening to the Zionist Jew fake news bullshit propaganda. Peace out.